Good evening, guys. Hope you can hear me and hope you can also see my screen. So, can you just give me a poll, yes and no? Can you see my screen, guys? And can you hear me? A lot of people have pressed yes button. I can see a lot of yes. Good. Guys, request everybody to be proactive and interactive both. You'll really enjoy it, guys. When I ask you something, give that answer to me. Yeah, a lot of people are saying yes, yes. Good, good. Next question, guys. Tell me how many people have finished their homework, yesterday's homework. Good. One guy is telling me no, otherwise, everybody has said yes. Good. So, I think so. Now, today I'm not going to open the document today, guys. Okay. So, my agenda for today is different. I'm assuming now that I have spent 3 days with you people to make you understand the project requirement and also shared you what should be the solution approach for it, and also made a diagram in your mind how will be the visualization of your tool what you are trying to make. So I think so that is clear to everybody. All the three documents, and especially the fourth document, I think so, the document which we're talking about, the code book, which explains about the database or data set. I think so everybody has a clarity now that which all columns are required and which columns means what. That means what type of data is stored in that column. So I'm assuming now that after 3 days, spending the all 3 days with you people, the clarity is there with you people how the data is there in the data set. And if I try to open a data set and show you, you should be in the position to explain me each and every column. So today what I planned for you people is that today I will be starting with the coding. So I think so. Are you people excited? That today we'll start with the coding. Okay. And with this coding exercises, I'll be explaining you a lot of concepts. That means I'll be teaching you a lot of concepts now. Yesterday, a lot of people asked me, sir, how to read Excel sheet and how you created from the Excel sheet the CSV files. So I'll go step by step, guys, today and make you understand that if you people want to read your data which is present in an Excel sheet, what are the steps for it? So we'll understand the steps today, and I'll do a live coding, guys, today and teach you how to start a project in Python. Okay, and step by step we'll be moving forward. So is everybody with me now? So can we start? A lot of people saying yes. Good, good, good. So guys, please stop chatting with me now. Okay, when I ask you to for some questions, that time you answer. Now concentrate on the screen all the concepts which I'm trying to teach you. The first thing what we need to do is create a project directory. Okay, and I also did the same thing. So if you see my screen, in my Sylvester directory, okay, this is my Sylvester directory, my user Sylvester directory. I'm on a Mac system. Within that, I've got a temp directory. Within the temp directory, I have created a project 3 directory. I would recommend you people can create a similar directory by the name of maybe project 3 on your desktop. Okay. There's one more announcement, guys. I would request everybody that they follow the instructions what I'm trying to teach you. Okay. And do not parallelly work on laptop with me. Guys, please listen carefully. What I'm requesting you people is, when I'm explaining you a concept, okay, do not perform the same steps on your laptop. This is a good way when you learn online, okay, because these are not pre-recorded videos, guys. So what you should do is, when I'm teaching you live and you are getting an opportunity to learn live, you should concentrate more on the concepts and the steps. Okay? And then post the training, post the session is over, then what you should do is, you should watch the recording and then do what? And then perform step by step. Is it clear, guys? So if you follow this process, your learning would be great, guys. Okay, so do not follow the steps which I am performing. Concentrate on the logic what I'm trying to do. Concentrate on the steps what I'm trying to perform. Concentrate on the concepts. Okay, and if possible, always keep a paper and pen with you, so that you can write the queries which is coming into your mind, and you can also write some notes if you want. Okay, is it clear, guys? Okay, so what you need to do is, first step is, you need to download this Excel sheet. And if you people remember, in the problem statement document, guys, in the problem statement document, I told you this is the URL where you have what? Your Excel sheet. And yesterday I explained you guys how to download from the Google Drive. Right click and do what? Then say download. I have also done the same thing, guys. Okay, I have created my project directory by the name of project 3. After doing that, I downloaded this file, guys, this Excel sheet. Okay, and you people know I told you it's around 90 MB file, which has some 1,90,000 data with me. Okay, so I won't be double clicking this and showing you. I'll be teaching you a way that if you want to read an Excel file on your laptop using Python, what should be the steps. Is it clear, guys? So your step is, first download that from the Google Drive into your directory on your laptops. Is it clear, guys? You need to create a new project directory and download that file. I have already done that here. Okay. Now, guys, what you need to do, you need to go to your editor. Okay. I told you guys, I would recommend you people to use what? To use Spider. Okay. So hope everybody has installed Spider. If they are comfortable with some other ID, they can do, but I do not recommend to them for using Jupyter as the ID. No web-based ID, guys. Okay, because we are trying to do a lot of things. I am recommending to use what? Your Spider. Clear? The second step is, guys, now I need to create a file. Okay, so before creating a file, I need to set my project directory. So the second step, guys, is, once I have downloaded my file in my directory, my second step is what? Setting of your current directory. What, guys? What is the step? Setting up of your current directory. So if you see, guys, on your right hand side here, can you see a folder, guys? Okay, click on this. Okay, it opens which is your current directory. And guys, do you remember I told you in the Sylvester directory I've got temp directory. Within the temp directory I've got what? Project 3. Select that and say open. This step is known as selection of your current directory. Is it okay, guys? Ayushi, I told you, please concentrate on what I am trying to teach you on the screen. No questions, please. Okay, I'll give you time for the questions. And do not perform the same steps on your laptop. Please try to concentrate what I'm teaching you first. Okay, once the session is over, you can watch the recording and then do your practicals. Is it clear, guys? If you use this mechanism, your learning will be highest quality, I'm telling you guys. Okay, believe me. So now what I need to do is, after setting up of my current directory, you can see, now see my current directory. What it's saying? Users, Sylvester, temp, and what? Project 3. This means I am successfully able to create what? Set up my current working directory. Okay, I've done that. Now what I need to do is, guys, I need to create a new file. So go to this icon and say new file. It will create a new file for you. Okay, and now what you need to do is save. So I go to my menu and say save. Okay, and when I say save, it should give me an option, guys. Yeah, option. And now what you need to do is, you need to select your project directory. Again, see, it's my same is selected here, project 3. And now you need to give a name for your file. Okay, let's imagine I am giving the name as app. This is the name of my project. So what project we are creating today? The name is what? App. Okay, and now I say save. So what has happened? Now I am able to successfully, if you can see, the name of my file has changed, app.py. Okay, and I've got a blank file where I can write my code. So I'm able to successfully create an environment for creating a project, guy. Okay, so first of all, when you've done this, let's test it. Okay, how to test it, guys? Let's say I'll write here print statement, and let me give you a text there. So let's say I'm saying welcome to the project season 3. Okay, this is the statement. I'll save my file. I can go here and say save. I've already done that. You people can also, when you people do a practical, you should also save your file. Once my file is saved, okay, the name of the file is app.py. And guys, I told you, once you people have done that, I told you you need to run the file from your command prompt. Did you remember? So this console is acting at the same thing. So you can note down the syntax, guys, that if you want to run your file, which file? Your app.py, I will not be using this green button here to run. Okay, what I'll be doing here? Let's see now. I'll issue a command, exclamation, then what? Python, and then what? app.py. Is it clear, guys? This is the syntax for running your application from a console. What? Exclamation. Exclamation tells my console that I'm trying to run what? A Python command. Okay, what is my Python command? I have written Python, and then what? app.py. What this command will do, guys, this command will run your file app.py. And minded, guy, this app.py should be saved where? In your current directory. If that file is not present in your current directory, you might get an error. Okay, so let me now run this. So let's see. So guys, tell me what should be the output. I'm running this. See, guys, when I run this program, it runs my program from the console or my command line or terminal. And what it says, I gave only print statement here. What was my print statement? Welcome to the project season, and then it has printed the same on my console. So guys, is these three steps clear to you people? You need to download your file Excel sheet where? Onto your directory. Second step is what? You need to set up your current working directory. Once you have done that, test your file by creating a new file of your project by the name of app.py. And the fourth step is what? You need to run it from your console. And guys, what is the syntax for that? Exclamation mark Python space app.py. And you see, I was able to successfully run it. Okay. So now guys, whenever you are making a project guys, there should be a systematic way of coding. Did you get it guys, what I'm trying to say? I'll be doing what? A systematic way of programming. Okay? Ishika, just follow the step what I'm trying to teach you. Tala Mohammed and Ishika. Okay? If you have any questions related to what I am teaching you, I'll be happy to answer that. Okay? Nisarg, you don't have to download the CSV file. I told you. I am teaching you how to create the CSV file today, guys. Is this clear, guys? Today I am teaching you coding how to create that CSV file from the Excel sheet. Okay? So I'll mark here. It will be easy for everybody to remember then. What we are learning today? We are learning to create CSV file from what? Excel sheet. This is our agenda, guys, today. Okay, what is the agenda? I'll teach you how to create the CSV file. From where? From my Excel sheet. Okay. So Aditya, if I'm saying no, there is some reason for that. Okay. Try to follow that. One day in the next coming days, I'll explain you why I said not to do that. Is it clear, guys? Second thing now, guys, let's move to the next step now. I told you I need to teach you the systematic way of doing project coding. Okay. So in the systematic way of doing project coding, guys, what you need to do is you need to have a modular approach. Okay. You need to have what? A modular approach. Modular means what? Small modules need to be made. So what I'll do is I'll teach you how to create your own modules or own functions and use that function in your project. So it's a good practice, guys. It's a good practice to have multiple functions in your project. That helps you in what is known as a systematic way of doing project coding. Okay. So what I'll do is, do you people remember, I'm assuming everybody knows C language. And in the C language, guys, you people know you have one function there. What is the name of the function, guys? Can you tell me on the chat window? What is the name of that function? Yes, main function. So I'll teach you first of all how to create a main function. Okay. So there is a variable which is known as a system variable. Okay. I will not be teaching you the internal concept of that. You can keep that as what? You can keep that as a syntax for you. So what you need to write here, guys, okay? If underscore name underscore equal to, in single quotes, underscore main underscore. Okay, and then do what? Give a tab and now call a function main. Okay, So what I've done, I have created a if, guys. Okay, and what that if says is giving some error. The error is double equal to. Okay, so what I'm saying, if underscore underscore name is equal to double equal to main, call my function main. And if you can see, it says undefined name. Why? Because I have not created any function yet. Okay, so this is the way of creating a main function and calling it. Okay, so let me teach you how to create a function here in Python. If you want to create a main function, the way is def. Def means what? Define. Define what? Name, function name is what? Main, open bracket, close bracket, and colon, and enter. I have defined my main function. Okay, this is the way to define your main function. Def means what? Define. Then what? Name of your function, open and closing parenthesis, and then what? Colon. And guys, now see, I'll cut this statement here and paste it here. Okay, and now guys, if I try to run my program, see what happens. It is giving you what? Same thing. I have not saved it. Let me again compile it. Yes. Now guys, see what is happening. Error. Why? It says what? I purposely wrote this, guys. The reason for that is, whenever you make a function and if you don't give indentation or spaces, you get what is known as indentation error. And indentation error means, okay, I need to keep my cursor here and give a tab. Okay, now once I give that tab, you see the error has gone. I save my file, and now guys, I'm again running the same statement, python app.py. Everything is working fine now. So guys, did you people understand this? That a simple statement of just printing welcome to the project season 3, I have taught you a systematic way of doing a project coding. And what was that? Create a main function, then do what? Then use a syntax here. I'm not going to explain you the concept behind this today, guys. So don't ask me the concept, why you use name and all. At present, you understand like this. This is the syntax of creating a main function in Python. Okay. So now what you have? You have a main function in Python. And what I'm able to do? I'm able to call that also. So that means now whatever programming I have to do, where should I write that code? So if I want to achieve this thing, create CSV file from Excel sheet, where should I write the logic, guys? Just type me and tell me where should I write the logic. Ishika is saying main function, Tala is saying main function, Amol is saying main function. Somebody told me in between, guys, please do not type here. Okay, I'll mark it here. Please do not type your code here. Okay, very important. Please do not write your code here. So whatever you need to do, because we have created a main function now, you need to write all your code where? In the main function. Guys, give me a feedback now using yes and no. Give me a feedback using yes and no. Is this concept clear to you? How to make a main function in your program? Please do not raise your hands. Ishika, I told you, say yes and click the button yes and no. Sam, Divyansh, please Sam, do not use your raising hand. It creates a lot of problem on my screen, guys. Do you understand? That's why I'm recommending you. So I think so you need to follow this syntax, guy. I'll share this code also with you, don't worry. I'll share this code with you, okay? So you people know how exactly to do. But I told you, I recommended you do not practice when I am teaching you, okay? Do not follow the steps. After when you have completed my session, you can see the recorded video and do that. Okay? No guys, you need to have this sequence, guy, Rajat. Okay? The way I have done, you need to follow that. First, I have defined the main function and then I have called this here. Okay? If you try to do this, guys, see, somebody asked me this question. If you try to do this and try to run your program, you'll get an error. What it says, name error may not defined. That's why I'm telling you to go step by step, guys. You need to define this main function on top. Is it clear, guys? Okay. So I have broken down your file into two sections now. Okay. The first is main function and second is calling of the main function. Is it clear, guys? Aditya, I told you I won't be teaching you why I did this. I will not explain you today. Okay? Just remember that this is a syntax for calling your main function. Is it clear to everybody? Just take a note that this is a syntax of calling a main function. Okay? Is it clear? Now guys, what I need to do? Okay? I need to read my data set. Okay, so what I need to do? I need to read my data set. So what I'll do, if I want to read a data set, I need to import a library, and that library is import pandas as PD. Okay, this is the way to import any library. What? Import pandas as PD. Okay. So after using this statement, I am able to import any of the files using pandas. So what I need to do now is I need to read my file. So guys, I told you if you need to read a file, I require an external library, and that external library name is what? Pandas. So what is my data set names, guys? So what I'll do, I'll create a variable here. Let's say I say data set name equal to, guys, what is the name of my file? I'll go here and say copy here. I'll say rename. I'll say copy, right click copy. I'm just copying the name, guys. Okay, so it becomes handy for me. So I'm just copying my file name and just storing it as what? Within the quotation. Okay, this is my name. Is it clear, guys? Okay, so I'm able to create a variable of by which name? Data set, and I have written the name of the data set. Okay, now I need to read that data set from your file. If I need to do that, guys, I need to use the command PD. Why? Yeah, PD stands for what? Pandas. Now pandas will help me doing what? Reading the file. And which type of file it is, guys? Excel. So what I'll do, I'll say read, okay, underscore Excel. Can you see that, guys? It has given me a help. It's an auto help. Okay, and now I'll pass my variable name. Okay, what I'll say, I'll copy this and paste it here. And now when I read it, this statement of mine, my read Excel, will actually read this file. Okay, and when it will read the file, I want to store that information, and this information I'll be storing in DF, and DF stands for what, guys? It's a data frame for me. So here I am able to now do what? I am able to read my data from the Excel sheet and convert into what? DF. Okay. So guys, let me run this statement for you. So if I do this, I'll run my statement python.app.py. It says printing welcome to the project thing. Okay, good, it is reading. Let me do one step, guys. I purposely close my program. Okay, I'll give you one more statement just to give you a feel what is happening here. Okay, so I'll say thanks for using my project. Okay, so this is the ending one, and guys, see now. Okay, so now I'm saying python app.py. Can you see, guys, there are how many statements in main function? 4 statements. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what has happened? It has printed one line and it is stuck. And if you can see here, guys, a red button is there. That means it is still reading your file. Okay, and it is taking a lot of time, guys. You know why, guys? Why it is taking a lot of time? Because the file is a big file. It's a 90 MB file. Lot of data is there. 1,90,000 data is there. So it is taking a lot of time to do that. Is it clear, guys? So let me wait. You people can watch. People can start your timer and come to know how much time it is taking. It's still reading, guys. There is a small announcement, guys. Those people who already know Python, who already know data frame, who already knows pandas, okay, I would request them to keep your questions with you for the time when I am taking the questions, guys. Okay, and concentrate on what I am trying to teach the new things to you. It will be really helpful for you people. Yes, yes, Razak, if you want, you can make. I'll teach you, don't worry. At least first learn what I'm teaching you guys. Is it clear, Razak? Yes, Sujit, it is reading the Excel sheet. Somebody asked me, Surya is asking, how can we overcome this time taking process? Surya, if you have huge record set, it will naturally take time, no? You cannot cut short that time. It's not possible. We remember in one of our projects, okay, there was some few GB of images, and when we were reading that and creating a model, it took more than 48 hours. Can you guys see? It took us more than 48 hours. So that's why I created from the Excel sheet a CSV file so that I can reduce the size of the file, because every time what will happen? Every time it will take a lot of time for doing this. Okay, and in the real projects, guys, when the data is huge, that concept is known as big data. And for solving big data problems, you've got different tools. One major tool in the market is known as Spark. You people can note it, SPARK, Spark. That's a beautiful tool, guys. Okay, and there's one more tool which is known as Databricks. Okay, yes, Apache Spark is there. Nobody uses Hadoop now, guys. Okay, Spark is, you can see, it's a new version of Hadoop, and lot of people are not using Spark also nowadays. They use a tool which is known as what? Databricks. Okay, so I'll type it here. So by the time it is reading my data, I can teach you other things. So earlier people used to use Hadoop, then they moved towards what? Then they moved towards Spark, and now what the industry is using is known as Databricks. Okay, so guys, if you people really want to make some good projects with big data, you should know these tools. Okay, I would recommend, don't go for Hadoop. Nobody uses that now. You should concentrate on what? Either Spark or Databricks. Ishika, you don't have patience or what? You need to be patient. You need to have a lot of patience, Ishika. So somebody is asking me, Nafis is asking, sir, how these tools handle the data to reduce the processing time? So Nafis Alam, what these tools do is, you need to have multiple processors and it splits the work across multiple processors. Did you get it, Nafis? This is the way it helps you in achieving the big data. Okay, good. So I think so it is taking a lot of time. So what I'll do is I don't remember, Dinesh, what is the version of Spark and Bricks. Okay. So for your teaching purposes, what I'll do is I'll create, let me click here, again kill this process, guys. Let me directly run it here, okay, and let me create this here. That will be helpful for you people. PD is not defined. God, let me run this first, okay, and again I am trying to call my DF. Okay, guys, give me a little time. By the time I'll answer your question when it is loading, because I need to show you some concept in DF. Somebody asked me why you write the code here. Guys, see, this is my project. This left hand side is my project. It will call the main function, and the main function, all the rows will be executed. Okay, I don't want all the rows to be executed. I only wanted these 2 rows to be executed, Diksha. That's why I've written the code here. Okay. No, Antas, that's not the case. It will take time. Yeah, Tala, I can do that, I knew. So by the time you can throw your questions, guys, I can answer by the time it is executing it. If somebody started the timer, please start the timer and see how much time it is taking. I think so it should not take more than 5 to 7 minutes. Yes, Aditya, I've got an 8 GB of RAM on my system. If the system RAM is more, it will take less time. Okay. Yes, Raman, if you want, you can use PyCharm, no issues. Dinesh, I have not talked about any constructors till now. Anshuman, Spark is not an online tool, but Databricks is an online tool. Okay. So Databricks is a more click and drag tool, guys. Okay. So it is a very user friendly than Spark. Spark needs a lot of configuration, and that's a typical part. Rajesh? Ayushi, I'll be sharing these files, don't worry, after the session, okay, on the Slack group. Tejaswani is saying, sir, my laptop RAM is 4 GB. Will it take more time? Yes, it will take more time. That's why that's why I given you the CSV file, Tejaswani. Today I am teaching you how to convert. You don't have to convert because you already have a converted files. Did you get it, Tejaswani? Yes, Atushos, you can call a function without if also. If you want, you could have done that. No, not required, guys. Mohammed, XLRD is not required. No, Rohit, I told you Google Colab is not the way to go for a project like this. You need to have some ID installed on your laptop, Rohit. Okay, I would not recommend. Guys, there is one more announcement. Somebody is asking a recording. I missed. Sam, if you are interested in doing this project, I'll request I share all the information on the Slack timely, okay? And I give you more than 12 hours, 10 hours to download the videos. So it is your responsibility, Sam, to do that, okay? Because there's a reason for that, Sam. I have a limited space on my cloud for storing videos. So my videos get auto deleted after I post it within 12 hours. So request everybody that if they want a copy, please download and keep. Second announcement is these videos will not be downloaded on your mobiles. You will only see the download option only on your laptops. Is it clear? Yes, I'll show you, Prashant. Okay, the CSV file takes less time as compared to your Excel sheet. Really. Faizan, I told you it's not required. Yeah, Ishika, if you want, you can have any name of a function. That's not a problem. Dinesh is saying Mac with 8 GB, Mac with 8 GB or Windows with 16 GB. Windows with 16 GB will also do, Dinesh, no issues. If your memories come, there might be some issue. Yeah, Parth, if that's a good way. On your mobile, you can have opening the page as a desktop site. Then you'll get an option. Good Parth, you can use this way. Antas, the recordings are given on your Slack every day. The moment you receive it, you should download and keep, Antas Gupta. Is it clear? Yes, Razak, it's been 4 minutes. I cannot help it. The file is big. Alfia, all the recordings, the previous recordings are not there. They have been auto deleted. Satyajit, both the tools are different. Python tool is different and Databricks is different. So the data handling way will be different. Is it clear, Satyajit? Shruti is saying, sir, will 32-bit work on a complete project? Yes, it will work, but it will take time, Shruti. That's the only difference. Okay? The processing will be slow. Now see guys, this has happened now. Okay? Now guys, stop chatting with me now. I'm not taking any questions now. Let's come to your project now. Okay? So here guys, your DF is what? Guys, concentrate here on the screen now. So somebody took the timing. How much time it took, guys? Can somebody tell me? Talha Mohammed is saying 6 minutes. That's decent, guys. That's decent, I think so. I told you it might take between 5 to 7 minutes. That's a decent time. Okay. So a data set of 90 MB, 1,90,000 records took 7 minutes, approximately 6 to 7 minutes for us. That's a good one. Okay. So let's type DF, what it is. Okay. This is known as a data frame. So guys, data frame is a new keyword for you. And what is a data frame? A data frame is like an Excel sheet. Okay, just to define for that, what is data frame? A data frame is an Excel sheet. And what does the Excel sheet has? Excel sheet has rows and columns. Okay, so when I executed this statement, guys, df so and so, my read Excel, it read my data set and converted that data set into what? Data frame. So what you can see, guys, here, a data frame is like an Excel sheet format for Python. And what it has? It has rows and columns. Okay. So now, guys, if I want to see the dimension, I'll say ndim. What it does? It tells me it has 2 dimensions. 2 dimensions means what? It has rows and columns. And if you want to know that if you people have 2 dimensions, what are the dimensions? Then you have something which is known as what? Shape. And now, guys, shapes tells me what? Just, guys, concentrate on the screen. My ndim tells me what is the dimension of my data set. What it is? 2 dimensions. 2 dimensions means what? Rows and columns. The shape parameters tells me that it has so many rows and so many columns. So guys, tell me 191464, 135, what this specifies? How many rows are there, guys? Can you tell me? And how many columns are there? 1,91,464 rows are there and 135 columns are there. So can you imagine, guys, without using a Microsoft Excel program, what I am able to do that? I was able to read the information from my Excel sheet. So guys, what I need to do is, I want a list of all the columns. So what I'll say df dot columns. Okay. So guys, see, when I do this, what happens? It gives me an error. No, it doesn't give me error. What it gives me? It is giving me a list of all your columns. Guys, there are 135 columns. But if you can see, it has given me dot dot dot. But what I want, guys, I want to see the whole list. Okay. So what I do is, I'll create a list now. Okay. So what I'll do, df dot columns. Okay. There is a function which is saying to list. What it will do? It will create all this in the form of a list. And what I want to do, I want to store it in a variable. Okay. So I'll say, somebody asked me to print that, Ishika. Yes, you can print that also. So let me print that and show you. But what is the problem in printing? I'll tell you that also. It gives me a long list of all the variables. Is it clear? Okay. But if you want to store within a variable, guys, what I can do? I can now do what? I can say my list equal to this. What will happen? It will store all the information where? In my list. Is it clear, guys? So guys, tell me, what is stored in my list now? 135 column names. Okay. And if you people want to see, this is the name of each and every column. Do you remember, guys? Okay. The first is event ID, I year, I month, I day. And if you refer to my variable names, guys, okay, I told you what you need to do now. You need to only filter that variables. Okay, that is only the column names, and these are all index based, guys. Okay, that means what is the index of event ID? 0. What is the index for IR? 1, 2, something like this. Okay, so what I've done is I have already created this for you. I would like to show this. So these are all my column names. So guys, can you see? I have also put the index names here. 0 to 8, 9 to 16. Okay, and if you see, the last one is what? 134. And based on the document which I shared with you people, now I have created only those elements which are required for my project. And guys, how many elements were there? How many columns were there? 23. You people are right. Not 24, guys, 23. Okay. So which one was there? I year. I have also mentioned the column number or index number for that. Okay. So I year is present where? On index 1. I month is present where? On index 2. Similarly, I have made a list of all the columns which are required. Okay. And guys, why I did this, I'll tell you now. So what I'll do is, I'll create a variable here. Okay. So guys, now see the difference. Now I have created one more variable here. Okay. And now, if you people want, I'll run this here also. This is my selected items. Okay. So what it says, I only require these 23 columns. So what change I'll do, guys, now, if I'm using this concept, guys, I'll change the way how to read. So what I'll say now, comma, use columns is equal to what? All my columns names are present where? On my variable. That is what? Selected columns. Okay. Now guys, see. So now what I'll do, I'll try to run the statement again with the different parameters now. You remember, guys, last time I did not pass this variable, this attribute of what? Use calls. That means use column. But now what I have done, I have specified only read these columns. Okay. So now let me execute this and see the difference. Okay, guys, it might take the same time, or it might you people can start your timer. Can anybody help me out in starting the timer? Good, Dinesh. So let's see how much time it is taking. Yes, Ishika, it's a use calls is inbuilt. No, Diksha, we will not run the code always on console. And just for your teaching purposes, I am doing that. I'll be writing the code. I am also writing the code in main. You can see. Okay. So let's wait for some minutes for getting it loaded. Siddharth, we use the selected columns because we don't want to use 135 columns, all that information I told you. Based on my experience and my client expectation, all the columns are not required. So what I did, I use the index of those columns which are required for my Excel sheet. Kinjal, you need to follow me. These are the right columns of our CSV. I know that. That's why I've told you. That will solve all the requirement of the client, Kinjal. Is it clear? Yes, Mohammed. Yes, Razak, you are right. As a step before filtering your call, you should always filter your columns. Right, you are right. Yes, Diksha, you can write. Nobody can stop you. But I'm giving you best practices. Okay. So there is something, Diksha, which is known as best practice. Okay, in industry, which says which is the right way of coding. I am trying to teach you that way, guys. Diksha, did you get it? Yes, Dinesh, you are right. Okay, this is the steps I'm trying to teach you, but you can directly load my CSV. You are right. So, guys, how much time has gone in reading the file? 3 minutes. I think so. 3 minutes are more left now. By the time I can take your questions, no issues. So guys, I'll write the next statement what I need to do. Okay, okay. So what I need to do is now, guys, concentrate on the screen now. By the time it is running and reading that, I'll write the next piece of code. What I need to do now, in my data frame, guys, my code is present for what? My rows and columns. What is my columns now? 23. What I need to do? I need to convert this into what? A CSV. So guys, there's a very simple way. DF has a toCSV method in which I can pass the parameter. The first parameter is what? The name. So what I'll say, global terror 1.csv. I'm giving a different name, guys. Second parameter is, do you want to give a header name? What is the column name? Yes, I want that. So I'll say header is equal to true. Okay. And third is, I do not want another column for index. So what I'll say, index is equal to false. Do you people remember? Like columns has indexes, rows will also have indexes. Okay. So I have said these three parameters. Okay. So what this will do, once my data frame is loaded, I'm trying to say convert that data to what? To CSV. What should be the name of the CSV? Global terror 1.csv. Do you need to show the header? Yes, I want to show the header in the CSV file. And what will come in the header, guys? The header will have what? The column names. And do I need the index for every row? No, I do not want. So what I've said? I have said false. So guys, when I execute this statement, what will happen, guys? It will convert all my data which is present in data frame to what? My CSV file. And this is a magic statement to convert all your data to what? Your CSV format. Is it clear, guys? Is this concept clear of converting your data frame to a CSV? Good. Okay. How much time has gone, guys? Those people who are running my timer, can they tell me? So I'll come to 6. I think so it's going to get close now. Shruti, true means I want the column names in the header, and false means I do not want the row index. Yeah, it happened. Okay, so now guys, what I need to do, I'll run this statement now. So let me copy, paste and run that statement. So now guys, see, okay, in my directory, I do not have global terror 1.csv. Okay, I have the old file. Okay, now see guys what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say df.2csv and do what? Global terror.csv. Okay, and when I say enter guys, it is trying to see, it's again working guys. It is trying to do what? It is trying to convert my file to a CSV file. It's completed guys. This process was fast. Okay, now see, if I go to my directory, guys, see, can you see guys here? I see a file by the name of global terror 1.csv. When it was created? Today at what? 10 o'clock, 10:03. And what is the size? 34.5 MB. And if you want to see guys, okay, I'll say now df.endim. Guys, tell me what will be the answer for this? What is the dimension? Dimension is 2. And if I say df.shape, what is the shape? Guys, can you see the difference now? The rows are same, but what has changed now? The columns has stayed. So is this clear guys? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll share this part of code to you people also now. So let me share this. Okay. So I'll share on your Slack itself. I'll go to my project season. Okay. And this is my project season. I'm sharing my code there. So you people can refer this code and do a practice now. Okay. Guys, is this clear now? Just give me a poll now. Did you understand the concept how to create a CSV file from an Excel sheet? Good, Sakshi. So once this session is over, it takes at least 1 hour for me to create that video file, and after 1 hour I'll be posting the link of the video. Okay. If Priksha, if the Excel sheet is in another directory, you need to give the path. That's why I told you the first step, Priksha. You need to keep your Excel sheet in your directory. So guys, give me a feedback. How was the session today? On the chat, you can say, how was the feedback? Good. Yeah, Tarish, I have to be slow because a lot of people are there. Good guys, good. Thank you everybody guys. So I told you every day we'll be doing a hard stop at 10 o'clock guys. Okay, we have some other commitments also. Okay, so I think so I have shared the code. You people can have a look at the code and try to do your own R&D now. Okay, thank you everybody, and good night now. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And what is the homework for you today guys? Your homework is You need to practice what I taught you today. Good. Bye everybody. I'm ending the meeting now.